Hi, how's
How
it
you
going,
doing?
Emerson?
How you doing?
Uh, Doing well. How are you? How are you doing? It's good to
Um,
finally see you.
oh, thank you. I'm doing excellent. So tell me your
Good.
story.
All right, my
Oh, and the
story. Let's
recording
see.
is for you. I don't usually release it without any consent or whatever, you
Oh,
know.
no worries.
Okay.
Either way.
Okay.
I'm pretty fine with whatever at
Okay.
this point.
All right.
Let's see, my story.
Yeah.
Well, I've been having a whole lot of glimpses, as they say.
Okay. Hooray.
Um, Hooray, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, and I could tell like the whole story like the past year or so with
Yeah.
regards to that. But I've identified like two things that I kind
Mm.
of wanted to chat
Uh-oh.
with you about, if that's cool.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. One is I got into like spirituality and then non-duality as a way to like end suffering. And I
Yeah.
still notice suffering arises.
Yes.
So that's strange. So I'm kind of like, well, what's up with that,
Yeah.
Emerson? And then yeah, let's see. So that's I suppose the main thing. Oh, the second thing I wanted to raise was
Mhm.
I I noticed that the dream, so to speak,
Yeah.
right? We could call it a dream because it's like in a way, but it's also like it's equally real and not real at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. You can say that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I find that if I don't treat it as real,
Hmm.
that somehow part of, like leads to the suffering as much as if I treat it as not real, somehow leads to the suffering. Yeah.
What if it has nothing to do with you?
Uh, th then it just is.
So tell me your story of how you got here. How did you find this? How did you find this non-duality? How did you find this speaker, so to speak? What happened?
All right. So I went
It's just
through
to
a big,
it's just to illuminate, whatever, saying.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I went through a pretty rough breakup,
Okay.
and then I was meditating a lot.
Okay.
And then I had what some call like the Kundalini
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
spike.
Yeah.
And that started a lot of like subconscious stuff started coming up.
Yeah.
And and to kind of avoid feeling those things, I was trying to chase the euphoria, which I also experienced from the Kundalini
Yeah.
origin in the beginning. But
Yeah.
that sort of had waned, and then it was like depressing, and I was trying to get back there. And I got super frustrated trying so hard. And I don't know, somehow I came across non-duality on YouTube. And I was really I was following Fred Davis.
Mhm.
Are you familiar with
Yeah.
Fred Davis? Yeah. Yeah. And he made a video where he was talking about how people tend to say, I get this non-duality thing intellectually, but I just don't experience it.
Yeah.
And then he said, actually, it's the other way around. You only experience non-duality, you just don't understand it intellectually.
What if we eliminate
And then
both? What if you don't also experience non-duality? What if that's just another trap? He's still talking about the individual, right? There's nothing wrong with it. But go ahead, continue, please.
anyway, yeah. Um, okay, yeah, that yeah, it's not an experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, the story. So there was this pressure on my head in the story, and then like a
Yeah.
pop, and then
Yeah.
suddenly I was like all over the room,
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
And I tried to explain this to someone. It's like there's something that it's like to be a bed. A bed feels like something, like
Yeah.
being a bed. I don't know. I
Yeah.
was like, and the walls and the bed, you know, and then like it's like my after I had that big opening experience, like
Yeah.
sort of since then, it's like I see things as me and not me.
Yeah.
And there's this like back and forth
Yeah.
thing going on.
You get trapped more into a non-duality um
Trap.
trappings again, right? Because because it's like it's not this, but it's this. So you got, you think that it's this now, right? So now when you
Mm,
think that it is, because it's um no offense to to the teacher, right? But it's still it's still kind of like in a thought level. It's
mhm.
easy to it's almost like you can fake it if you like.
Right. You could just talk about it.
Yeah. But go ahead,
Right.
continue.
Oh, so would you like to hear the rest of
Yeah,
the?
yeah,
It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to
Okay.
hear it. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So, um, let's see. So then it's like there was there's this big like there was like the stillness, the
Yeah.
silence, right? And
Yeah.
then this one thought came, which was, holy crap, like I don't remember my life. My
Yeah.
life doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And then the second thought was, how will I be a person? And then the third thought was, what if I miss out on being a person?
Yeah.
And then this mind storm, as I call it, started.
Yeah.
And that's been going for like the past year with intermittent let's say like sunny days of
Yeah.
like, oh wow,
Yeah.
like life is amazing and everything's shimmering, and I
Yeah.
see, I experience
Yeah.
the unity
Yeah.
and the not unity. Um,
Yeah.
but it's been this like, I'll say, confusing dance, kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
And I know I can't. I know it has nothing to do with what I think,
Yeah.
right? Um, but I keep forgetting that, which is weird.
Yeah, of
I don't know
course.
how to
Yeah.
explain that.
Did you do sessions and stuff like that to try to clear it up?
I went to one or two sessions with Fred Davis, but I got into another relationship with someone, and
Ah.
she's sort of like she's in the spiritual stuff, and
Yeah.
she was saying like her feeling about like non-duality is, nothing is real, like nothing exists, all this stuff, but like, hey, don't forget to live your life, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that just kind of like fed into the
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
what's going on here thing. So
Yeah.
I kind of pulled away from this for a while, and now I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess I just came on your algorithm. You're like, oh, cool. There's this.
Well, what I like about you, like your approach as or how you appear to speak is about it is you talk a lot, speak a lot about like thoughts and ideas,
Yeah.
right? And how like, thoughts are just ideas, but that's just an idea, so we don't know,
Yeah.
you know, right? And that does seem to kind of, you know, clear me up. Although at this point, I don't even know what being clear means.
Yeah.
Just
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So and again, you know what? No, not to say that this is anything better, but a lot of teachings and a lot of even speaking just go on the thought level, right? It's either you think this way or that way. It's either you are a character or an individual or whatever. But what if we get rid of all of that? What if we throw everything away? And your girlfriend, are you still with that girlfriend or?
Oh, we're actually sort of in the midst of a breakup, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
yeah. Yeah, it's been a ride. But yeah, but she's still, but we're still in communication and around, so it's okay.
There's in what she said, live your life, it's just what it is. That's what I'm talking about, really. Right? This is not about denying, the self, or because it's just another idea, right? Or there's a reinforcing of the self because it's just another idea. So what's being expressed here is in this immediacy, because all we really know is knowing, and all we really know is our thoughts, and we can really just base it on our thoughts, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and I can also say that the whole construct of Woodley is just a thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So in this immediacy, in this directness, so to speak, right? Let's forget about non-duality for a moment, because this is nothing even have to do with the experience or the idea of non-duality, because those are just concepts, right? They're just, let's just put it this, it's irrelevant.
Mm.
Um, it's completely irrelevant. It's almost like it
Yeah.
seems like you keep on learning, and then you're like, this is, this is stillness now, right? And then, or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
in this immediacy, in this directness, since you're kind of like, you're waiting for the next stamp on your non-duality card, so that hopefully you can have a glimpse again. Throw that away.
Okay. Okay.
It's like, wow,
All
like a
right. Throwing
kundalini experience, like those things that you get.
yeah, throwing it. Okay, throwing it. It's just whatever.
But that
Okay.
throwing away is also just an idea, just to let you know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
So it doesn't
It doesn't matter, does it? It
doesn't
doesn't
matter,
matter.
to be honest. Here can like almost starting can like ground zero. If you're looking at this and you cannot, let's just say that there was a like a word or a language or a thought apocalypse, meaning that all that there is just this, and there's no next, or there's no now, or there's no prior.
Mhm.
If you're not able to use, because those are just thoughts anyway, if you just go directly, just the sound of this seeming kind of like voice coming in and out, um without any secondhand knowledge, without any knowledge whatsoever, just a complete annihilation of thoughts, what are you looking at?
Mm,
You can't use
I,
thoughts. Yeah.
nothing. I don't know. Something. I don't know. Yeah, those are
Yeah,
all
yeah.
thoughts.
That's just thoughts. Yeah. So even behind that thought, it's nothing. What's behind that then?
Well, I can only describe it in words,
Try
but
it. Try it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's like energy, movement.
Yeah. Not even that. Not even that, right? Because it's just another idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's behind that energy or that sensation or whatever?
Mm.
Or who, saying who is thinking these thoughts? Or what are these thoughts really? Just want to go directly. This is not a meditation or contemplation or whatever. Let's just be direct. But there's nothing wrong with it.
no, I mean that I just the I mean I just feel like it just comes and goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, yeah. So if
Yeah.
we can figure this out, the very seeking of this is pointless, isn't it? Because all you really have is your thoughts. But the thoughts can only exist in time. And since time is an
Yeah.
illusion,
Yeah.
but a very persistent one, right? If time is an illusion, so thoughts are relevant. So there's something that's not moving,
Yes.
something that is kind of like stillness or silence,
Yes.
although you can't call that, and
Right.
that can't be figured out.
No, it has no boundaries
Yeah,
and no
yeah,
location and no
yeah,
color or
yeah. But that's just another thought, isn't it?
yeah.
Even further than that, right? It's vast or whatever. I'm also using words to be honest, right? Because I can't, you know, go around it. Um, so there's this almost like this moving silence, yet it doesn't move at the same time. It's what's permanent, but no one knows that it's permanent. Because the moment that you think of it, it almost tries to capture something that cannot be captured. It's like trying to catch air. You know it's there, but you can't see it.
No, you can't be captured. There's nothing to, there's, I mean, I'm gonna say there's nothing to capture, but that's not even it.
That's not even it. Yeah, yeah, that's not, that's just another idea, isn't it? Right? It's just, so yeah, and this directness again, let's just go kind of like really wild here, right?
Okay.
Okay. Do you think you're here?
No. I just am here.
Are you here
No.
really? If you can't use your thoughts,
No.
are you really here?
No.
Okay. Is there a here?
No.
Okay. Is there a time?
No.
Okay. So all that there is this moment that's appearing as an illusion, a dream, or whatever you might want to call it, as an appearance. You're not really here. Let me take you all the way to the end of a dream, right? When you're dreaming at night, the moment that you wake up, you never existed, meaning everything in the dream completely collapses. What if everything is collapsing and rebuilding over and over again? You just don't see it.
Yeah. It's
But that's just another illusion, isn't it? Because it's what if everything is happening simultaneously, meaning this is the beginning and the end occurring at this very moment.
yes.
Okay.
That does seem right.
What if everything that I'm saying you don't have to agree or disagree with?
Yeah.
Yeah. So who's agreeing then? Is it coming automatically? Is it coming out of nowhere? Or is it you?
It's just coming out of nowhere.
Okay. All right. So if it's coming out of nowhere, everything is just coming out of nowhere, really. Kind of like what I'm saying. What if everything is collapsing and building simultaneously? And then the thoughts
Yes.
that comes and go, yeah, the thoughts that come and go are also collapsing and also, also appearing and disappearing, coming in and out, really.
Yes.
But
Yes.
what if there's no center? Meaning there's no source from this.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would there be a source?
Yes, exactly. So so is this really coming and going, or is it really just stillness? Or are we hallucinating the coming and going? Are we delusional that there's time? Are the thoughts a delusion?
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
there's nowhere for it to go or to come from, or like,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
there's no substance in it.
Okay. So now that we have that, you know what I'm saying? Who's speaking?
Well,
Who's
I could
responding?
say, I mean, there is no speaking or responding.
Yeah.
There's just
Yeah, yeah. But somehow it seems like there's reality of us talking right now, right? But is the
yes,
reality even real?
no,
No.
no.
Okay.
Whoa, weird.
So who's looking behind those eyes?
No, no one. Just this. I don't know.
Yeah. So what's looking behind those eyes is what you're looking for.
Well, what's looking behind those eyes is what's happening,
Who
whatever that
said
is,
that?
which is not. No one. Nothing. Wait. So it's kind of like a circle, except or a dot.
And not even that.
Not even that.
Not even that. Yeah. So what if you're looking at is really directly as it is already? And then without the thought track, without the ideas about it, meaning that what you're looking at is exactly as it is. But the moment that you put words into it, you obscure it. Not what you're seeing, not what you're feeling, but it already is. So let's just put it this way. Let's go a little bit woo-woo here and everything, right?
Okay.
What if you're looking for God, but God is looking at you? Meaning that not the God that you know. Let's just not go there, not the God that's like in the Bible or whatever, or or anyone that could anyone think about. The unthinkable God is what you're looking at, but it does not appear as your idea of God. Meaning it's appearing as the blue wall, it's appearing as air around, it's appearing as your body, it's appearing as you're talking, it's appearing as your thoughts, it's appearing as your vision, it's appearing as your hearing, and it's the one talking right now, but not a being or not a source or not. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, and you've seen this before, but you've made it into an idea.
Yeah.
What if you're looking at it constantly, and no matter what you think or not think, it always is, and it doesn't change? But what you think is unchanging is also changing as colors, as visions, as feelings. Every time you burp or blink your eyes, or anytime the taste of your mouth is, let's call it unconditional God or unconditional freedom. It's unconditional freedom as it is. All of these are just ideas, basically trying to swirl around so that hopefully it pushes you off the cliff.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, good.
But the moment that you think that there's a you to push off the cliff, then there's no cliff to fall off from. The cliff is everything that you know. You're jumping off everything that you've ever known.
But there is nothing I've ever known. Right.
That's true. Exactly. So why are you not jumping?
But there's nowhere to jump. Is there?
There is none. There's nowhere to jump. But where is it that you're trying to go? It's already here, is what I'm trying to say.
There's nowhere to go either. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already here. It's already done.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
Really?
it's
Oh.
already here.
This is it. This is
This
it.
is it.
This is
This is
literally it.
it. Yeah. This is it. There's nothing other than this.
It's really
It's just sobriety from all of your ideas, basically. So I'm trying to think, right? It's kind of like trying to push someone off is that there's no one to push, that there's no cliff. There's nowhere to go. Meaning it's
no.
already here.
This is it.
This is it.
This is it. This is
This
it.
is it. Yeah.
Oh, it's like ordinary
Welcome back.
and
Yeah,
not.
welcome back. You've never really left, right? And there's no you to leave, and there's no you that was gone. It's just ordinary.
Oh.
It's like living your life as it is. It's kind of like what I say, throw away that experiences card, right? Because this is not about an experience. Experiences come and go. But when you see that it's always it, no matter what the experience, then it's already here. There's no cliff to jump. There's no one to push. There's nothing to figure out. It's just always here.
Right. So no matter how it appears,
It's always this. Yeah.
it's always this.
Yeah.
Even
That's
if
right.
it appears as not this, which is interesting.
Exactly. There you go. Bingo. It could appear as suffering. It could appear as whatever, right? It's it. And I was trying to trick you with words like God and everything to see where you would go with
it. No. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. It's
It's
at this
not.
point,
I was
any
about.
words.
Yeah, I was about to say that it's not a belief. It's also not a belief, because an unbelief is also a belief. So let's just clarify, right? So everything that you've known so far takes you to either this or that. experiencing or knowledge or whatever, right? All of
Uh-huh.
it is bullshit.
It's all an idea.
It's
It's
all an
all
idea. You got it right. That's why you probably can like, okay, usually I attract people that have done their seeking. They're like, I'm done with everybody. And I'm usually the last one. That's not a good thing. They're like, people keep on avoiding me. They're like, he's horrible.
no, no, okay, yeah. No, there's an interesting I don't know, here we are.
Yeah,
Here you go. Yeah.
here we are. So here it is, wide open. You know what I'm saying? Sobriety. Without
Sobriety, yes.
it is sobriety, right? Because all the seeking is just intoxicating the apparent character to think that there's something else other than this, to think that there is a next, to think that there is a past, to think that there is a now. It's just really ordinary.
It's really ordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's this interesting this thought is arising of
For
like
sure.
uh like well like can you lose this? And it's really funny.
See, again, it doesn't matter what you think. It has nothing to
Yeah,
do with your thoughts. It's always it,
even if it's your thoughts.
even if it's just your thought that it's not it. Even if it's your thought that says that, will I lose this? That's just a thought. It doesn't really matter. Someday it's going to come as heavy, someday it's going to come as light, right? And this is the play of opposites, right? Another Einstein quote that someone shared to me today: the greatest
Ah,
illusion is the illusion of separation. Einstein.
cool.
The greatest illusion is the illusion of separation. So there's nothing separate. Everything is interconnected and everything is also not here. Meaning that if you in a dream, right? You're like dreaming of time, like you're dreaming of a time that you were with your friends having fun, and there's a monster that shows up and you guys are getting chased by a monster. And then before you die, you wake up.
Mhm.
All of that dream, everything in that, the time, your friends, you are all illusion, but they're all the same.
They're all the same. Yeah.
They're all the same, yeah. And they're also nothing. So meaning that nothing and everything are the same. You and I are the same. We're also not here because
Mhm.
I'm here and not here is the same.
Yes, it's an idea. I'm here and I'm
Awake or
not
not
here.
awake is the same.
It's the same.
Enlightened or not
Yeah.
enlightened is the same.
Yeah.
It's just it has nothing to do with you, kind of like what I said in the beginning, right? Because the you is the party pooper. The thought, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's also the biggest cock block, right? It's like
It is. Wow. Wait, so it really is just all everything
it's
that
all
is
everything, yeah. So there's really nothing needed, isn't it?
no,
No,
no.
there's nothing really missing, isn't there? Because even missing is a part of everything.
Yeah.
even
Oh,
even incomplete is a part of whole, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
whole
the whole shebang. So everything is inherently whole already. It's already complete. So whatever. That's why people usually say they're like, "Oh, that was it too. That's it too." Like my whole kind of like I don't know. My timeline is so bad. Um, I don't know time anymore because there's really no time. So let's just say a few years ago, my whole seeking for 10 years or more was it too.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's all there is what is appearing.
But it didn't even happen anymore.
No.
No, because all that
There's a
we
trick.
really have, this is really, really tricky, right? Because there's the real and unreal. So this seems real right now. And then we have
Right.
thoughts about the unreal, kind of like, you think about like if I pull out if I want to prove to you that I'm born in 1971, I can pull out my ID and I can show you my baby picture in black and white. Um, Baby pictures in black and white, dude.
It's pretty hilarious.
It
That
is,
idea. Oh, look, I have this paper.
right? As if I went back to 1971 and grabbed this. But I can also go to a scientist and say, can you carbon date this? And then the scientist would be like, it shows that it was in 1971.
But they'll be saying that right now.
It can only appear in the present moment, right? I can even have
Yeah.
videos. You know what? I guess they didn't have videos back in my time. I can show videos of me being born and everything, right? And my mom will also say that I remember when you were born in 1971, that kind of thing. And but it can only happen in this present moment, in this apparent, now. So time is a complete construct. So when you wake up, that there's no you to wake up. Because for you to appear, there has to be a time.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a you that was born in, I don't know what year you were born, 2000.
92.
Oh, wow. Seeking this make you look young. I thought you were
I
like in
do.
your 20s.
No, I do have a youthful
Yeah,
aura, or
you
whatever
do.
they
Yeah,
say.
you do. Yeah. So when you wake up that there's no you that was born, and there's no you that's going to die,
Mhm.
then you're not
Mhm.
thinking about the future, not thinking about the past. And even if you think about the future, the past, it doesn't matter, because now you're wide open to this, whatever this is, this that cannot be put into a word. You're sober to the stories of your, um
Right,
I
right. So even if no matter what, it's like when you wake up from a dream, you can
yeah,
think whatever you want about it.
yeah, yeah. So suffering is it too, your first question, right? But it has nothing to do with you, because suffering appears in this present moment. But when you keep on thinking about it, then it's almost like it's like going back to your nighttime dream and bringing back the monsters or the ghosts and everything, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like
you kind of
it's almost like,
relive it.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost like a recurring nightmare. You keep on thinking, like, what happened? You're like, oh, I had a nightmare last night. I've been depressed it doesn't happen usually.
For the last 8 days because I had a nightmare last night.
Eating pizza off the floor, because that kind of thing, right? Usually when
Yeah.
you have a nightmare, you just kind of like, oh, that was brutal. That was harsh. Or you cry a little bit. I've woken up crying, my tears
Mm.
soaked the pillowcase, because in my dream someone died.
Mhm.
And then when I wake up, I'm like, oh, it's just a dream. So what I'm trying to say is, and this is gonna sound horrible, that even if someone dies, it's just a dream.
That's it. Just a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels absolutely real, right? You even go to the funeral and all that kind of stuff. Mourn a
Mhm.
little bit, grieve a little bit. But what's happening is that all around, everything that you look around is also not real, because the one that's looking is not real. But what's behind what's looking, although there's no behind, is also what's in front. So there's
Yeah.
no subject or object really.
Mm. There's none.
No. So if if our thoughts were disabled, it will just be like we're just chirping back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It's just, these words are really, really meaningless. It's like a dream
Yeah.
language.
Yeah. I remember I was sitting in I was a grad student recently, and I in the dream
Yeah,
before whatever
yeah.
whatever
You can call
but
it in reality too. It doesn't matter. It's just words.
so, yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm realizing I'm sort of making this up right now, even
Yeah,
though it's
yeah,
just something that I remember as a statement or whatever. But okay, in the I was a grad student, and I remember sitting in class after that experience I told you about
yeah.
the initial thing, and I remember listening to the teacher,
Yeah.
and I couldn't understand what he was saying
Yeah.
because it was like these are all just sounds. It was,
Yeah.
but now I can see even I couldn't understand what he was saying as an idea
It
even.
is. It is. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's like it's nothing to do with you. Because the moment that you think that you understand it or not understand it, then it becomes something that has some meaning, really. And it's hard to
Oh,
yeah. If
I
you're
just did
looking
that
at
right now. Oh, I
yeah,
did it again. Okay, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but you are also just an idea.
Mm.
You're just an idea. And the
Yes.
idea, there's nothing wrong with the idea, right? The idea that this is real, the idea that this is happening, the idea that this is suffering, the idea that I got hurt, the idea. But all of these ideas comes and goes. Meaning
Yes.
it's like the sun that's setting and and everything. It's an illusion, basically.
It's a cat.
It's a cat, yeah. Oh, I like cats. Hello, kitty cat.
Hey, kitty. This is Luna. Hey, Luna.
Oh, Luna.
Yes. Yeah,
I
I
have a
mean,
doggy.
oh, you have a doggy? Nice.
But I used to have two cats.
Ah.
Yeah. They were the loves of my life at that life.
That's something. Can I got a question.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, for sure.
So, in the spiritual communities, people talk
Yeah.
about this like law of attraction and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
manifestation and all that.
Yeah.
And I've had experiences of like I see something in my mind and then it appears like the next day
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
And so and I know that that is like there's this sense like illusion of like I'm creating this
Yeah. But do you believe everything that you
because there's no I.
yeah. Yeah. But go
But
ahead. Keep on
at
going.
the,
Sorry.
okay, sorry, but just at the same time, it's like I guess this is kind of what
Yeah.
you were saying. Like there is this dream that I do
Yeah.
manifest things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I answered my own question, but what's
Well,
the difference between manifest and unmanifest? I
well, in
guess.
the dream sometimes when you're dreaming at night, right? You know what I'm saying? What you're seemingly talking about seems to appear in the dream as well. Is it real?
No.
Okay, there you
Oh.
go. In
Oh.
the dream, yeah, in the dream at night,
Oh.
yeah, it's still a dream.
It's still a dream.
It's great when that happens, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? It's still a dream. So getting caught up in that can get um into a lot of suffering, and a belief system again can create this identity that I am manifesting this. And it can get really dangerous for some, spiritual teachers, because they're teaching others how to manifest things by paying me $1,000.
Yeah, exactly. Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
And when they start complaining that, like I don't, you know what? Can I have my $1,000 back? No, no, what I'm trying to say is it's just a dream. There's nothing wrong or right about it. It's just a dream. It's just another identification. So the moment that you identify with the dream, then you're caught up in the dream again. There's no you, but you're already awake. This is already seen. So any intoxication, any kind of like um um there's nothing wrong with intoxication as well. But the intoxication, as you know it, I'm saying, you get a hangover afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you suffer, and then you're not content, and then you want to manifest more. What if I pay you $10,000? Can you manifest me $1,000,000? No. And even if you got the $1,000,000, so then you want more. You get caught up in the desire of the dream, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but there's no one choosing it at the same time. So it's a really tricky thing. But when you're completely sober from all of that, like, everything is just as it is, and everything seems to come and go, but I'm not identified with what comes and goes anymore. I don't have an identity, meaning that I'm as still as the stillness, but there's no I in the stillness. I'm using words.
Right.
And at the same time as fluid as the water, meaning that there's nothing that can shake this. even if temporarily I get, like if I hear bad news and I cry my eyes out and everything, I know that that's just the appearance of this perpetual stillness.
Yeah.
It never
Yeah.
really moves. Yeah. And you see
Oh,
through that. Yeah. So all the movement, all the suffering comes and goes. I like using this analogy of like having an open house, like an
right.
open house that there's all the doors are open, all the back doors, all the front door, all the doors are open so that whatever comes also goes.
Mm. Uh,
Yeah. Because it
so
has
is
nothing to do with you.
yeah. And it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with where you point your attention either. Right. So
Whose
it's not even
attention? Yeah, that's
exactly is so the meditation thing
yeah.
is I'm not sure what. Well, I mean,
It's a
it
good kid.
appears.
It's a good kindergarten thing. You know what I'm saying? I taught it for 10 years, right? It's really nice, and if you really like that nice thing, kind of like playing tic-tac-toe, um, you know, then
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong or right about it, right? But to think that the meditation can liberate you,
Yeah. That's liberate. What do you mean?
it's just
Liberate what?
it's just being stuck in a dream over and over again, hoping for that nice peaceful dream to happen by napping early.
Mm.
So what I'm trying to express here is that this is awakeness and sleeping simultaneously. The sleeping is the thoughts. The awakeness is what you cannot say. Let's just put it this way. Let's just use another analogy. When you're not thinking, you're looking at utopia. You're looking at freedom. But when you're thinking, you're looking at dystopia.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
But at the same time, there's no one looking and there's no one thinking. It's just thinking happening, really. So there's nothing wrong with thinking.
Does
There's nothing wrong with suffering.
right, because those things, the dystopia is part of the utopia. It
It
just
is. Without the dystopia, there's no utopia. Without the
Mhm.
good, but there's no evil. Without the good, there's no bad. If you look at it, the good and the bad is interconnected. They're the same.
Yeah. Wait, they're the same,
But they're the same
but
illusion. Let's just continue it. Meaning that there's really no opposites, right? So
right.
thinking, okay, this is when it gets fucked up, right? When you start thinking that I am good or I am bad, then you bought into the dream again. When
That
you're
makes
good, then
sense.
you look at everybody bad, saying there's separation again. The greatest illusion is that there's no separation. Everything, if you look at widely at this, the air, the red, everything that you're looking at is whole.
Yeah.
You're not separate from, again, the only thing that keeps you separate this is your idea of you. And your idea of you keeps on pumping up all of these ideas to maintain that the idea is true. So the very idea of true creates a false. The very longing for truth, there's a falsity. The very idea of you, there's others. The very idea of an idea is just an idea ping-ponging back and forth, but there's no separate idea. It's just the same illusion.
Mhm.
There's no
Yeah.
two dreams that you're going back and forth from. It's just all a dream. But the dreams might seem completely different. You know what I'm saying? You can have a dream that is euphoric, like a Kundalini thing.
Yeah.
And that's a trap, right? Or you could have a dream that you had a glimpse, but that's also a dream. It's just basically it's tapping into, it's almost like when you have those glimpses, it's kind of like, I don't know if you sleep and someone turns on the light and you're like, you wake up and you go
Yeah.
back to sleep, but you don't know what it is. Because there's no you to wake up and there's no you to no you that's sleeping.
No, but so even waking up and like looking around the room, that is also you're still a dream, right? You wake.
Exactly. It's a dream, and then there's awakeness at the same time. So when you're sober to it, you're like, okay, there's a dreaming happening here. It's like lucid dreaming, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have you had those? This is the same right now.
Not exactly, but yeah, I mean, apparently I have. Here I am.
Yeah, here you are. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's like there's a you, but there's no you at the same time. Because
That
seemingly
makes
what's
sense.
happening right now is just this appearance of us talking, us whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just doing this and clarifying, illuminating that it's already this.
Mhm.
It's almost like the thought will try to take you here, the thought will take you there. So it's kind of like, but there's no here and there. It's just this.
Right.
Yeah. How are you
Right. So
feeling?
it's no, I feel good. Um, oh, I noticed this. There's the sensation of like in my body of like a little nervousness. Like, well, what if I lose this?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
know, it's just, I know it's that's
That's
part of
it
it.
too. That's it too,
That's
right?
it too.
Because again, wide awake and sleeping simultaneously. So the wide awakeness is already feels fine, and the thought sensations are created. It's an illusion. Everything that's created is an illusion. So there is the uncreated and created appearing simultaneously right now.
Yes,
The uncreated, you can't think about it.
the
The
created
created and can appear as
thoughts
thoughts,
or
feelings, nervousness.
yes,
But guess what? Even the created is the uncreated. It's
yes,
just a dream. It's just an illusion of that. So the stillness is moving, basically. So the moving is the one that comes and goes, but the stillness never leaves.
no,
So there's this blank space, and then the moving could appear as nervousness, but that's also it. It's kind of like having an ocean, and you're looking for water, the stillness.
oh yeah,
So there's the bottom of the ocean, which is stillness, but you're
Mhm.
focused on the surface, the waves. Both are
Oh,
water. Yeah. It's all water.
oh,
Yeah.
oh,
It's
oh,
all water already. You're looking at water, you're feeling water. You are water. Everything that you're looking at, I have to use words, right? Everything that you're looking at is the unknowable water. What is looking is also the unknowable water.
yes,
But the water is liquid that seems to be moving, but it also doesn't move at the bottom.
no,
We just get fixated on the waves sometimes. We're chasing the waves. You're like, I want that 10 feet, surf wave, and so I can surf in it. That's where the movement and the stillness appear simultaneously.
yeah, because if they weren't, if
Dude, watch some of the surfing things. A lot of them get glimpses big time, right? Because
really,
yeah. Oh my goodness. Like it's like there's this documentary Touched by the Hand of God. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the
Mm,
stillness that they feel in the chaos of water, right? So they're completely still in the rushing waters. Like how epic is that?
mhm,
But
mhm.
this is the same as that right now. It's always
Yeah,
like that. You don't have to find those giant waves to find the stillness, and that's why, like, if you look at your story, you said that your breaking up is always, that's where you find stillness.
ah,
Right, the suffering sometimes is where you find the stillness.
but the stillness is doesn't need to be found, does it? Or it's always
No, no, I'm talking about the story,
the
so,
story. Yeah, 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 yeah,
so
yeah.
so what I'm trying to say is that when you see this, so soberly, with sobriety, the chaos is also stillness. You're like, okay, it's the same thing.
Mhm, mhm. So even like when you look out in the world and you see, I don't know, like snow falling
Yeah,
from the sky or
yeah,
something, um, the the snow is sort of like it's like a thought in that it's just part of the same.
exactly. Everything is, you know what? It's so funny. Like, like I walk every morning, and And then there is this blank space, so to speak, when everything seems to appear like snow, clouds moving, um, birds
You moving.
chirping, me moving. Yeah. But you forget about, it's funny, right? Because it's like when we usually wake up from a dream, we sit up, you kind of like, that was a nice dream. Like, that early morning when you can like that second, that you don't have thoughts. And then the thoughts come in, you're like, oh, I have this meeting with Woodley and everything. Somehow, you know what? And this is just a story as well. For the past maybe few years, 5 or 6 years, the early morning, the thoughts don't come at all.
Mm.
So I'm just kind of like, walking my dog, looking at this wonderland. And then I go see my mom, and my mom goes, how are you? And that's when it starts. I'm like, I'm fine. How are you doing? Because there's no need for it. You know what I'm saying? It's just walking. So even if you witness yourself, again, this is just a story, you're automatically happening. You're an autopilot.
Yeah.
If
Right.
you've had one of those glimpses, that's usually one of the things that happens. It's just
Yeah, I see that.
autopilot.
I can see it right now, even. There you
Yeah.
go.
Isn't it clear?
Yeah, it's really clear.
It's kind of like, what we forget that word. You know what? It's like always use this in my stories. It's like driving a car, and then you think that you had passed the test. You think that you're a good driver, or you're a horrible driver, or you're always kind of criticized because you're Asian. And you think that you're a horrible driver.
Is that really what? I didn't know that. Oh, I
I'm
thought
just
it
making
was.
stories.
Yeah,
And then you want to be a good driver, so you take all of these lessons, saying, because you're insecure about your driving, because you know what, people are thinking I'm an Asian and everything. I'm just using it as an example as seeking, right? So you park really well, you don't speed and everything, and then one day, and then you telling your friend, you're like, oh, I'm so stressed about driving, everyone thinks I'm a horrible driver just because I'm Asian, that kind of thing. I don't speed and everything, and then and your friend goes, but you do speed a lot. No, I don't. It goes, you speed a lot. And then one person basically goes, I don't know if you guys noticed, but all the cars now are self-driving.
yeah. So don't worry about it. Yeah, yeah,
It has nothing
yeah,
to
yeah.
do with you. It has nothing to
No.
do with you. And then slowly you're like, what do you mean? And you're like, well, take off your foot off the gas, you know what I'm saying? And let go of the wheel. And you're like, wow, this is amazing. Everything is so clear, shimmering. Because
Yeah.
like right now, saying it's like, because you're not on the wheel anymore. And then you're like, oh wow. And then you're not off completely, saying, because you're kind of like, and then you're kind of like, oh shit, you know what? You're driving again. When you go back to
Uh-huh.
sleep, you completely forget now that this is a super advanced Tesla. You know what I'm saying? That it's been driving all this time.
Right. So, but and even when it seems like you're driving, it's still that's autopilot.
It's still an autopilot. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you think that you're driving or not. It's just. And then if you even want to take it further into the illusion game, right? And then you realize you're you're near a mall in one of those kiddie cars. It's not going anywhere at all. It's just
Oh.
one of
Or like,
those.
yeah,
It's not
or
even
the
moving. The
the
merry-go-round.
merry-go-round. Oh,
And that's what I'm
I
trying to
know.
say is that's the
Yeah.
contentment of like that everything is an illusion, right? Because I used to be oh my goodness, the control freakness of this character was like nuts, right? So, and
Mm.
the control freak was also underground because I appeared kind of like, cheery and all that kind of stuff. And but my
Uh-huh.
relationships, oh man, what disaster, right? Because I always wanted someone to love me, that kind of thing. And I would do everything. I would be a caregiver for a person, basically, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I
Because I'm
res
always trying
I
to
did.
drive. You resonate with that? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Always trying to drive. Yeah.
You're always trying to drive the relationship, right? And And when even the relationship, it needs to part seemingly, right? You're still trying to control it, right?
Mhm.
You get really depressed and everything. It's just what it is. Everything comes and goes, including relationships, and there's nothing that you can do about it.
No,
Yeah.
no.
But what never leaves is the peace that cannot be spoken about. And that's the peace that never moves, right? It's a peace no matter what. It's like the ultimate cool bro. You know what I'm saying? Like a high school kid goes, okay, all right.
So it's like the the yeah. So it's kind of
It's
is
the
it
infinite, all is well.
so is it kind of like when you go to the movies and the first there's like a blank screen and then the projector turns
Yeah,
on and then there's this whole movie and then it turns off
yeah,
again
yeah,
and you
yeah. Let's even take it further. Everything that you're looking at is a blue screen.
a blue screen blue meaning blue like
Green screen.
green
Sorry.
screen green screen.
Like this one.
Oh
Yeah. So what you think you're looking at, you know what I'm saying? Is an illusion.
yeah. Well, it's the same. What's I mean, it's
If I
you're
was
not
a
looking at anything.
if I was good as a special effect, and everything will just turn into blue. What's looking is blue, what's being looked at is blue. There's no
Yeah,
person, there's nothing, it's just emptiness.
yeah.
So with that being said, right? So I see this as a gift, all of this duality, the taste, the sounds, the dancing, even the bitter, even when I got hacked, all that kind of stuff is just a wow, right? Because like it's like the best simulation, but there's no one simulating it. The
No.
best hologram, but there's no one that programmed it, right? It's just it's just it's a wonderland. But the wonderland
Yeah.
is going to be so effing boring if it's just all kind of like harps and people, walking on clouds.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, oh,
Well,
with it,
without the contrast, without the
without the
highs and
contrast, I want out. I'm like, this is hell. What?
that's so funny.
Right? People
Yeah.
are thinking about that. Oh, there's a good movie that expresses that. It's called Bliss. So there it
Hmm.
opens in a dystopian. It's with Salma Hayek and also Clive Owen. I can't remember his name. Um, Clive
I don't
Wilson.
think I know them. Mhm.
Okay. So they are in this, there's this guy that's working in an office, he's just bored with his job, and he sees a woman that's homeless, right? And she's full of life and everything. Oh, and they're taking drugs and everything, doing this and that. And then she goes, what if I tell you that this is a simulation? Because, well, I don't believe you.
Mhm.
And then they finally go back, and then it's a dystopian society, right? Where there's a lot of suffering and there's a lot of, so so he wakes up, and then he sees that, oh my goodness, he goes, well, we've been in utopia for the past 1,000 years, so people are bored, right? The food is provided, there's no more wars, there's no conflict, so we created this illusion of suffering.
Yeah. Nice. That makes sense.
So welcome to utopia dystopia. That's what I'm trying to say. Welcome to duality, which is actually non-duality. So everything dualistic is it. So what you're looking at is already it. There's nothing that you can do. This is the sobriety, because I used to, again, no offense to teachers and everything,
Yeah, yeah.
I used to teach kind of like, that causes glimpses and stuff like that, right? But I kind of figured out that the people that were, doing it would just have a glimpse and go back into trying to learn again. There's nothing to learn and there's nothing to know. It's kind of
No.
like an undoing and unlearning. It's like the unraveling. It's like a deprogramming of everything that you know. Um, because your
Right.
brain or your mind or yourself or the I or the character is the simulation.
Right. Yeah. Which is going on at the same time as whatever is
Whatever this is,
not. Yeah.
reality, not whatever you
Yeah.
might want to call it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that needs to be figured out. So when suffering hits, it's suffering that's appearing. It's kind of like trying to shoo away a dark cloud. It's
Yeah.
insanity.
It's insanity.
So
There's
shooing
no
away suffering is insanity as well. Shooing away
uh-huh.
some thoughts that are dark, or it's insanity as well.
Yeah, or like trying to blow away space. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking of.
Or
What are we doing?
or every time it rains, you go outside and meditate, so hopefully it goes away. Or there's a
That's a good
fire.
one.
If there's a fire burning, you go in front of it and do breath work. So hopefully that will stop it.
Yeah, it won't do anything.
So in the dream of the fire, if you know what, if it's raining outside, if it's you go inside, enjoy the fire. Although there's
Yeah,
no inside, people might think that go inside your thoughts. No, 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 no. It's just what it is. It's just what it
right.
is.
Or like you'll literally, if you're outside, you'll literally go inside. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't, there's no inside outside as well. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just what it is. So everything that you're looking at is it, but not when you think of it. When you think of it, no matter what it is that you think, it's not it.
Mhm.
No matter what, yeah, it's wild, right? So even if you think that this is stillness, that's not it. Because the stillness is actually moving. Because the movement and the reality and the illusion are the same.
Yeah. They're
That's a
they're
mind
all
fuck, actually.
it's
The
reality
illusion
and
that
illusion.
the reality is that the reality is that there's no reality. The illusion is that there's no illusion. The paradox is that there's no paradox. So
No
basically,
reality.
if we scrape all the words away, you're looking at it, but you're not really looking at it because there's no you looking at it. It's just what it is.
Mhm. 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 No, that makes sense because here it is or whatever. It's appearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. it doesn't need to be it doesn't need to be figured out.
And everything
And
that
it
I say doesn't matter.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it yes. Well, because
Including
it's
that.
all part of the dream. Doing that, yeah, 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 yeah.
And that and whatever may come after. Saying although there's no after. Um,
No, but even if the sense of after appears, that's still
that's
the
it
same.
too.
The same.
That's it
It's the
too.
same.
Yeah. That's it too. It's so funny, Rick. So when people have glimpses, they want the whole shebang. Like I had this person earlier today, I was saying, um, well, I want enlightenment because I want to be able to teach and do what you do and everything. And I'm like, so does 99% of the thought that comes in, right? Everybody wants to be enlightened of the people that are seeking. But I'm like, what if we take away that idea, that thought that, I want to be? It's either it is or not, or it isn't. But also it doesn't matter.
No. It's other is yeah, no, it doesn't matter at all.
It
It's
doesn't
just a
matter.
it's just a dream, and it's not a dream. Yeah,
It's a dream that's not a dream.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a dream of reality, and it's a reality that feels like a dream.
It's a
Although they
dream that is
all
reality.
although these are all just mumbo jumbo, everything that we're saying right now.
Yeah.
Because this is the very language that we're speaking is a dream language.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
made in time, it's constructed in time, and
Oh, I know we're
that's
out of
okay.
time
That's
on
okay.
this, but
That's okay.
I was just n noticing. So I noticed that you said a couple times that a couple times that thoughts happen in time. And now you said the dream happens in time.
Yeah.
It almost seems to me like time is a thought.
It
that
is.
happens. So
It
so so so
is.
so what do you mean in time versus, is that just
Okay,
a matter of speaking?
let's just use this. It's kind of like that cube, you know, that illusory cube, right? So let's just pretend it's a house of cards, right? It's the same
Yeah.
illusion. So if you take away, you know, cards, you know, like a card, you know, if you take away time, then there's no thought. Because how could thought happen without time?
There's no sequence. There's no,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you take away thought, there's no time. Because if you take away the self or the me, there's no thought or there's no time. They're almost interdependent,
Uh-huh.
but they're also all illusory. So when you pull out one of the card, you know, when even if you say that there's no time, and you're like, okay, yeah, I understand. I'm like, no, you don't understand it, because understanding is time.
mm, mm. Oh, I see. So you take away the time, and then if you think there's no time, that is happening in time.
Yeah,
And if you take away the time, there won't be any thought, but that's just another thought.
that's just another thought.
So then there's
Yeah, you
time.
got it. You got it. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so it's
It's a
like what's that?
paradox, right?
The
It's the
infinity
infinite.
symbol.
So this is
Symbol.
the infinite. So this is the timeless
Mm.
that appears in the infinite expression of the infinite. It appears as this finite time, but it's just an appearance. So what I'm trying to say is you're already in timelessness without thinking about it. This is the eternal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, because you can't escape that
No.
loop,
Yeah.
which
But there's
is
no you in that
which
loop, and
is
there's no loop as well, which is the infinite.
which is the infinite. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good to end it that way. I'm gonna
Oh, that's
stop
a
the
good
record.